Back at the Singapore Indoor Stadium, where we await the start of the men's singles semifinal. Peter Gade, former world number 1 from Denmark, taking on the 18-year-old Indonesian Taufik Hidayat. Another match taking place, H. Hendrawan of Indonesia facing his compatriot Herianto Arbi. That's the other men's semifinal. We'll keep you updated on that one. They are going into the third set. You see the Danish flag being waved here from the fans from Denmark making their way to the indoor stadium. There's Taufik, followed by the 22-year-old Peter Gade. Very difficult match to call. These two guys hooked up in a thriller back at the prestigious All England Championship. Gade winning at 15-10 in the third. And Brian Langley, Taufik has a bright future in international badminton. I think he's going to give Gade all he can handle today.
Yeah, I mean, they've played 3 times before. Peter Gade has won on each of those occasions, but his opponent has only just turned 18. So, you know, when you're at that sort of age, 16, 17, losing matches, you're gaining in strength. You know, he's not even half mature. I mean, he almost looks, I don't know, he looks 14 to me, not even 18, but he's a wonderful talent, very exciting player, and Peter Gade has an awful lot of respect for him and says he's looking forward to the match. Obviously he hopes to make it 4-0 here, but he knows that this kid is really coming a long way very fast. Won the SEA Games in Brunei a month or so ago, and according to a lot of the Indonesians here, he's their big hope for the future. I did see in the paper. Let's have a look at his results through to the quarterfinals.
See Peter Gade outlasting the Indonesian Budi Santoso, and then Taufik Hidayat being surprising Marlevi Manaki in their quarterfinal hookup. You see the bottom half of the draw. H. Hendrawan won the first set against Herianto Arbi, former world champion. Herianto took the second. They are late in the third set. We'll keep you updated on that. Hendrawan, by the way, eliminating the Olympic champion, Paul-Erik Hoyer-Larsen.
Sorry, I was just going to jump in there. And Hendrawan, the defending champion, who beat Peter Gade in this tournament last year. But they're both fascinating. There we are, just checking on past winners. Hendrawan and Arbi Herianto winning it the year before. And then Joko Supriyanto, who is the coach of Taufik now. So the old man has retired and has got Taufik Hidayat under his wing.
Interesting note, Artie Wiranata, who won it in '94, now competes for the United States of America. He entered for the USA at the World Championships. So only Indonesians have tasted victory in the Konica Cup final. Peter Gade has noted that no non-Asian, of course, has won the Konica Cup.
Peter Gade this year won the Japan Open, won the All England, as we said, beating his opponent today in the final in 3 sets. Was runner-up last year to Hendrawan. And he has the distinction of being world's #1 for a total of 62 weeks. Was finally supplanted recently, actually in the last couple of weeks, by Sun Jun of China, who seems to have Peter Gade's number these days.
World Championships for Taufik reached the round of 16. There you see finalist at the All England, where he lost to Peter Gade. Konica Cup last year, really doing nothing, round of 64. So huge improvement for him. To go back to Peter Gade for a second, you saw on the graphic, he lost in the semifinals of the World Championships. That was a crushing loss for the Dane, going down to Fung Permati.
But the great thing about, I think, both these guys, I haven't seen Taufik Hidayat play, so this is all going to be new to me. Peter Gade, though, is one of the more interesting players to watch, because he does try the unorthodox, sometimes to the dismay of his coaches, and he especially likes to do the unexpected on the big points. And, you know, you're either a hero or a villain when you try that sort of thing, but it does make fascinating watching. And by all accounts, Taufik is just as ambitious. You know, he's got the sort of the innocence of youth about him, and doesn't really understand what pressure is yet. So we've got two very exciting players here, and I expect this to be a wonderful semi-final.
Two huge individual talents
Ladies
with bright
gentlemen,
futures in international badminton.
Taufik, Hidayat, Indonesia. And on my left, Peter Gade, Christensen, Denmark. Taufik to serve. Love all, play.
Taufik with a shot into his body, couldn't fight that one off. Peter Gade gets the serve back.
Peter Gade will try to come to the net. He likes to dominate close to the net. That's his main strength. He's got a wonderful variety of net play shots.
About Taufik waiting on that shot, seeing if it would go in, then still able from the underhand position to get the good clear.
I mean, this is all timing here. Hits the shuttle so cleanly. It's a rare talent. It's like the ability that of anyone in really whatever sport, golfers, some players just hit the ball cleaner than others. Badminton, some people hit the shuttle better than others. You know, in tennis, some people hit it better than others. And he's obviously got that ability. He's only slight. He's giving away quite a few inches to Peter Gade, who's about 6'1".
Love one.
Pushed deep to the forehand side of Taufik. So we're tied at 1. The Dane will change shuttles.
You saw the ability there of Peter Gade to come in and then invent something at the net. He was in a position, he had a choice of about 3 shots.
Oh, Taufik, from right around the back of his head, able to knock it back.
1-all.
Well, a sixth sense of just knowing where the shuttle is, what's happening to it. He caught that cleanly in the center of the strings as well. And from that point, Peter Gade was lunging from side to side.
Out-dueling the Indonesian. I'm impressed with Taufik's backhand drives.
Once again, he found that space on the forehand side with his opponent, expecting it to go back across court. The flick there, a little bit of a hand pump as well. So the early emotion being shown by Peter Gade.
2-1.
And on the live action, Taufik returning the serve into the net. So now former world number 1 leads 2-1.
Real unforced error there from Peter Gade.
1-2.
Taufik had that in his sight all the way, letting that go, tying it up at 2. Well played by Taufik, finishing it off, but set it up well with the forehand drive.
2.
Taufik then fights off the net cord from the Dane and doubles up at 4-2. Well played to the forehand side, excuse me, the backhand of Peter Gade, who could only watch it. Some of the Danish team go down. Speaking of Michael Sogard and Ricky Olsen, who lost in the mixed doubles final. Kim Dong-moon and Ra Kyung-min, world #1, world champions, now the Konica Cup champions, 1999. If you're just joining us. Taufik plays that well wide.
9-6.
Goes wide. You see Taufik step in on it. He wasn't sure if that was going to go in or not.
Wasn't that a great smash, though, from Taufik? Really, I'm impressed with how cleanly he hits the shuttle.
And pushed off the backhand, Taufik. Peter Gade committed to defending backhand of his own. Left a lot of court open. And the net court, how did that get over?
8-9.
Well, Gade on the back foot. Once he was shuttling back, excuse the pun, there was no way that he was going to retrieve the drop.
Now tied at 9. It's a little run for Taufik. 3 straight points.
Anything short is going to get killed by Taufik. He goes back into the lead.
Lots of ebb and flow in this first game. It's a final now. Herianto Arbi has knocked out the defending champion Hendra Wan. So Herianto going back to the Konica Cup final where he won 2 years ago. Defending champion dismissed.
Set up, sorry, Sean, set up by a wonderful drop shot at the net.
9-10.
It was so tight, it just had to come up high, give him the air. It was open for Gade to finish it off. 9-10, first game.
Gade's having some real success taking those shots directly into the body of Taufik.
He's got to work really hard. He knows that. He's got to work hard to get in quickly to the net. He's got great footwork. Very, very fit.
That just misses.
11-10.
Peter Gade letting that go from the moment it left Taufik's racket. He takes over on the lead, 11-10. That just inside the line, 2-point lead for the Dane.
Again, great deception from Gade.
10.
Taufik expecting the drive deep. The flick there, you see, he was making his way back. Half a stutter. It just drops on the outside edge of the line. Perfect tumble shot at the net by Taufik. That's no mistake.
Service over.
No
10.
good fortune
12.
either. Practice for hours to get that shuttle hitting the top of the tape and then rotating. You can't hit it until it comes out of its spin.
Goes long.
Some indecision by the lines judge. Changed his
11,
decision.
12.
I think that's what bothered Peter Gader, was the hesitancy. Great point, both gentlemen. With the retrieval, I like the shot selection of Taufik. Gader right down the middle for the winner.
And Taufik let Gader off the hook there. You had the world number 2 scrambling all over the court. Some great defensive work, sure, but there were a couple of indecisive shots. And then it was Gader was able to turn it around. It's a bit more like it.
Leaping to the skies, Taufik going cross-court with the
12.
smash. Indonesian will change shuttles. Great poise for an 18-year-old.
Well, these youngsters don't come through by accident. You know, they're put through, especially with the Indonesian squad and the Chinese squad, to get even into a major tournament. They will have played. They played all the best players in the world within their own squad, and they're introduced very carefully onto the international circuit. So it's not really sort of Christians thrown to the lions.
That's on the line.
Service over. 12, 11.
Splendid shot play from Taufik. First the net core and then going wide to the forehand.
Well, it wasn't a bad serve from Peter Gader either.
11,
but to actually respond
12.
with that drop shot tumble over the tape, absolutely brilliant touch under pressure. 11-12, first game.
You can't let Peter Gader close in on the net like that.
Service over.
Yeah, it's the old 1-2.
12, 11.
Shot to the back, and then he comes in for the follow-up. See, it's automatic. He hits it, and he's running as soon as he lands.
And then a miss-hit by Taufik.
13, 11.
So Peter Gader restores his 2-point lead, now is within 2 of taking the 1-game lead. And gets over there. Game point coming up.
14, game point, 11.
Well, that bordered on the fringe of a steer rather than a hit from Gader. It was almost as if he caught it on the racket and just spooned it across.
Down the line from Taufik. You can hear the whip of that forehand smash.
11, 14.
Goes long. The 18-year-old within two at 12-14. Not quite getting over. Now 13-14.
There's a long way for Peter Gade to go to actually retrieve the drop shot at the net. Just 1 point to get it to 14 all, and then into a setting procedure. There's no room for error at this stage of the game. And this is where I've said before, Peter Gade likes to try the unexpected, but I think Taufik does as well.
That goes over the head of Peter Gade, and there's no way he was going to touch that shot. So now 14-13, his second game point.
Well, that actually was a high percentage sort of rally for Peter Gade. Just stay there, those low flat drives, much less chance of error.
Gator into the net. Taufik still alive in this first game.
Well, Taufik was almost horizontal when he played that backhand flick cross court. I mean, how he thought of hitting that, I have no idea.
Beyond the reach of the Dane, and we're tied at 14. So Peter Gade could elect to set to 3 here.
This was a clever shot by Taufik because he anticipated that Gade was going to come in, pressurize the net. So that was a little clear over his head, a lob if you like.
And Peter Gade has indicated that they will be setting to 17. Judgment at the line
14 all
by the Dane. Tied at 14. Peter Gade on the serve. Make it 15-14.
15-14.
Superior deception from the backcourt.
Well, that all the hallmarks of a blistering smash, didn't it, when he took off up in the air and then he just holds it back. That's a wonderful shot.
Now, though, serving, trailing Peter Gade 14-15 and a set to 17.
Very loose serve, too high over the net.
15-14.
Oh, that was given to Peter Gade on a plate.
You hear the tink, the miss hit from Taufik. Game point again to Peter Gade at 16-14. Drifting well wide.
Service over. 14-16.
That was long. Mistake there. It was the open court as well for Taufik. So another chance to wrap up this first game for Peter Gade.
Hasn't come easily, though, for the Dane. Third game point. And 3 times the charm for Peter Gade. 17-14. And go back to when he was trailing 6-2, went on a huge 7-point run. That got him back into the first game. And he takes it 17-14. Game 2 when we return to the indoor stadium. Peter Gade, 17-14 in that first game. Taufik Hidayat came back to get it to 14 all, then making some mistakes late in that first game. So the world number 2, 1 game closer to returning to the Konica Cup final, a loser a year ago to Hendrewan, who, if you're just joining us, lost earlier this afternoon to Herianto Arbi in 3 games. But at times, Brian, Taufik Hidayat in that first game looked absolutely brilliant, particularly on the forehand smashes.
Well, he's obviously got some weapons that just raise him above the level of the other good players around him, and that's why everyone in Indonesia is calling him, I think it's Wira Baru, the new hero. They reckon he's going to be the best since Rudy Hartono. I mean, that's a huge bit of pressure to put on a youngster.
As Peter Gade applies some pressure of his own with the backhand at the net. Taufik whips back a forehand of his own.
Love 1.
Miss hit from Peter Gade.
1 all.
Hasn't got a big smash in any event. You know, I mean, it certainly doesn't have the penetration that Taufik has.
Service over. 1 all.
A little too aggressive from the Dane there. He had the whole court to work with a retreating Taufik.
Well, he was actually trying to hit him. He was trying to go straight for the body, but as you could see, they just a fraction offline. Taufik was able to let it go like a matador.
Dropping inside the line. Peter Gade laying off that shot, and it cost him.
There is a slight drift from left to right at that far end of the court, but even so, that would have still dropped on the line had it gone straight. So, major error of judgment there by Peter Gade.
Some of the players here at the indoor stadium have noticed that it is drafty inside this building. Down the line and just missing.
Good call.
1.
Taufik, you'll notice, hardly breathing.
Drop shot off the net cord.
1-3.
So Peter Gade trailing by 2 on the serve. loose shot from Taufik.
Well, with Taufik jammed in the back forehand corner, there was that space to be exploited, but it still is a very risky shot, this one. A little flick, drop.
And Gade, superior net play there against the Indonesian youngster.
The main worry with those shots is that you don't reach over the net, either playing the shot or finishing it off. You know, after you've hit it, you've got to keep your racket your side of the net.
Cross court, half smash, really. Peter Gade didn't get all of that shot. Good enough, though.
Well, Peter Gade is very selective about when he smashes, because he knows he hasn't got quite the penetration, and he uses it sparingly, and he uses it well. That was a very smartly shot, and he couldn't have hit it any better than that.
Goes long, halting a run of 4 consecutive points in the world number 2. Taufik, he had the touch shot at the net. Peter Gade well away from that.
So it shows you the deception there. Taufik was nicely poised, balanced, waiting for the shot from Gade. And that little flick there. So it's something that they'll practice for hours, one against the other, just those little black backhand flicks.
Too tough a shot, really, to the far backhand side. Taufik couldn't do much with it, and he was exposed.
But again, you know, that's what I was saying about how sparingly Peter Gade actually smashes. And you choose the right moments to hit it, you're going to hit the winners.
Snap back at the body of the Dane. To the short side, the backhand of Taufik.
6-3.
Couple of loose shots from the Indonesians in this game.
7-3.
Peter Gade, for those of you who don't follow badminton closely, dates fellow Dane Camilla Martin. She's already knocked out of the Konica Cup. They are very much the object of the media's attention back in their native Denmark.
Well, it's not an uncommon occurrence in the world of badminton. You had Susie Susanti and Alin Budi Kusuma, both Olympic singles champions, and now married, of course. Sun Jun is the fiancé of Ger Fei, both world number ones. I don't know that when you lose your world number 1 ranking. There is Camilla Martin in the audience looking on. I don't know whether that means if you lose, you go down in the rankings, it puts your relationship at risk, but they both know what it's like to be under the glare of the spotlight. They probably find a great deal of comfort. They both have that experience.
body of Taufik. Those are the shots Peter Gade was looking for earlier in this game. So he is starting to run away with it here in game 2, up 9-3.
Service over.
Rare mistake on the smash from Gade.
Perhaps trying to finish off the point too quickly. And he gets the serve back easily.
9-3.
Taufik sending a lot of shots outside the lines here at the indoor stadium.
Service over. 3-9.
Well, it looks like a stupid thing to do, to just push it long there, but there's not actually much of a window that he can hit it in when he's that close to the net to make sure that it lands inside the line. You know, the angle that he hits it's got to be so precise.
Another shot into the body of Taufik. And there's the smash used selectively. That catches the line. He's in the double digits at 10-3.
You notice in this second game how few opportunities Taufik's had to smash compared with what he was doing in the first game, and how much more Peter Gade is in that position. Obviously, change of tactics after the break. And this has been a much better second game for Peter Gade.
That's called long. So now the 18-year-old trails by 6. Cross-court smash. Gade using that weapon on 2 of the last 3 points.
Service over.
Mishit as Peter Gade reached for it.
4-10.
Say Laugerson, one of the Danish team members on the left. More of a doubles player.
Behind the back shot from Taufik, but it goes for naught.
Service over.
Peter Gade really has turned this game around in the second game. Made a few tactical adjustments, and it's Taufik now having to deal with those shuttles that are hit down to him. He was given too much in the air in the first game, allowing him to smash.
Peter Gade will change shuttles, leading by 6, up a game here in the semifinal. Winner of this to face Herianto Arbi, men's singles final. We'll have that one for you tomorrow live on ESPN.
Service over. 4-10.
Nice exchange at the net. One by. A little shot there. You see the tumble, the shuttle's rotating.
Service
You
over.
have to wait till it straightens up before you can hit it.
10-4.
If you hit the feathers, it's going to go nowhere.
Peter Gade pushing it back, so he's got the serve, leading 10-4. Make it 11-4 as Taufik,
11-4.
a careless shot, well long. This is just long.
Good judgment. You know, you think back to that ladies singles we just had with Yonekura and Gongzi Chao. They were both breathing so heavily towards the end of the game. Look at this young man. You wouldn't think, you'd think that maybe he's only just finished his warm-up.
Gator goes wide with the cross-court smash, but you're right, doesn't appear tired at all. Ah, the sweet bird of youth, the 18-year-old Taufik.
Now, Peter Gade better be careful. I mean, he's enjoying, at the moment, a 5-point lead. A couple of loose shots, though, that easily is whittled down. The pressure's back on him.
Well-played drop shot. Taufik was not looking for that. Peter Gator earns the serve back at 11-6. Can't do anything with it, though. Weak shot.
Well, it's not the first time in this match that Taufik has replied with a soft drop shot on the low serve. Wow.
Again, behind the back. But usually a shot like that born more out of desperation than anything else. Then he had Peter Gator caught out of position. Dane going into the net. Taufik goes long.
6-11.
It's almost like a serve and volley technique. You go for broke, go to the net. If you get past, okay.
The backhand smash from Taufik.
And he made it look so easy. Very tough shot.
11.
To flick it down with that amount of, generate that amount of pace. Beautiful racket control.
I think you agree. We notice more and more Taufik is getting Peter Gator caught out of position. Down the line and wide. And remember when he was up 10-4, 6-point lead? Now that lead trimmed to just 3 points, and Taufik charging here in game 2. That's long. 9-11.
Wonderful serve as well. Gator so anxious to get in and attack it. Got himself out of position, almost overrun the shuttle.
Cross court misses wide. Suddenly Peter Gator can't find the court, and as you noted before, that's when he starts to get frustrated.
He's now put 3 smashes wide into the tram lines from that sort of position. Well left by Peter Gator.
11.
Tried to make sure that he kept in the rally there and put the pressure on Taufik to go for the shots.
Peter Gator has the serve back, but now his lead has been reduced to just a single point. And that's between the legs, now 12-10.
And that's the first smash in a long while that he's actually managed to get into court.
Missing long, just beyond the line. As often as I've watched Peter Gade Christensen, it never comes easy.
He's missed it again. That's 4 times.
11-12.
And Taufik's now starting to just feed him. He's mixing up the serves pretty well. Gator just going for broke. A series of errors on the return of serve. Taufik just putting it up high. Go on, have another go.
So now tied, and Taufik has come from a long way back. Quick update of ladies singles going on in the adjoining court. Yasuko Mizui of Japan is tied 1 game apiece with Ye Zhao Ying. They're fighting to meet Gong Zichao in the finals.
And Peter Gade once again showing his anxiety to finish this off. He stopped playing the badminton that he was playing in the early part of the game, and he's just trying to overpower his opponent, who's just standing there looking so composed. And from 4-10 down, Taufik has the lead. 12-13 is 13-12 the score.
And then Peter Gade goes into the net, and from a long way back, Taufik has now built himself a game point. 2 of them, in fact.
Still not breathing heavily. That was terrible luck on Taufik. A complete mishit off the frame. And it was enough to wrong foot the youngster.
So Gade fights off that game point, trails by 2. Down the line, now 13-14. Remember, they set to 17 in game 1.
Well, it was a change of tactic from Peter Gade. He's missed so many of the cross-court smashes. This time, he cleverly goes down the line. Much safer option for him.
And on the line. Peter Gade elected not to make a play on that, or maybe it was the fact that he couldn't get there anyway.
Well, it really is pressure time now, but of course, Peter Gade has won the first game. He's got the first game under his belt.
13.
But it would be a huge psychological shift in momentum if this young man were to be able to come all the way back and take it into a third and deciding game, as indeed did the final of the All England earlier this year between them.
And that just misses, and Brian, you're right, that's where we are headed. We are going to a game 3. Peter Gade arguing with the chair umpire at the end of that, but Taufik survives. He was down 10-4, and he takes it 15-13. Unbelievable turn of events. More from the Konica Cup when we return. Semi-final matchup at 1 game apiece. Peter Gade having some difficulty closing out the 18-year-old. Remember, Taufik Hidayat has never beaten the former world number 1. There you see Peter Gade accompanied by his coach and girlfriend, Camilla Martin.
It's going to be a test of his professionalism. See how he responds here. What he needs is another start in the next game like he had in game 2.
You see the quarterfinals, Peter Gade having to come from a game down to knock off Budi Santoso. That after not dropping a game against either Ramesh Nathan or the Malaysian former number 1, Rashid Siddiq, 7 and 8. Meanwhile, for the Indonesian, here's how he reached the Final Four. Only dropping a game to Malaysian Jason Wong in the second round. Marlevi Monarchy, after a tight first game, yielding 15-2. So Taufik Hidayat showing he's got some real staying power And after losing 3 straight matches to Peter Gator Christensen, how badly do you think he wants this match now, tied at 1 game apiece against the former world number 1?
Well, obviously they're here to win, so they both have got every confidence and belief in their own ability. I mean, he's too young to think anything other than just going out and playing his game, but he's shown such maturity on the pressure situations. A little bit shaky, perhaps 1 or 2 points at the end of the first game, but such composure to really capitalize on the mistakes and the anxiety of Peter Gade, who was trying, I think, too hard to finish it off.
Final game.
When he was 10-4 up, then it was he was gradually hauled back. But it's going to be a fascinating third deciding game.
Touch shot works for Peter Gator as he gets the serve back.
I think I mentioned earlier that Peter Gader and Sun Jun, who is currently world number 1, have that great rivalry going, and I think here we have the birth of another terrific rivalry, an 18-year-old against a 22-year-old. I mean, this one could take us through to not just Sydney 2000, but the Olympic Games after that.
Just misses long. What impressed me about Taufik, never looks rushed. Always has that extra second where he can stop, think where he wants to place the shot.
Well, I wonder what he's got for lungs. I mean, he's not breathing heavily at all. Unbelievable.
Peter Gator lunging at it in vain as it goes by.
Love 2.
I think half of the success for Taufik is that his footwork is so good and he shuffles like a boxer. You know, he doesn't do steps around the court. He shuffles, and you see Peter Gader is actually sort of lunging around far more than he is.
That's on the line. In fact, right on the tee at the back of the court.
2 love. Love.
So another good start to the game from Peter Gader, but exactly as he did in the second game as well.
Taufik into the net. Dane leads 4-love. Tell you about the ladies singles semi-final taking place on the adjoining court. Ye Zhao Ying over Yasuko Mizui in 3 games, 11-8 in the decider. So the ladies singles will be an all-China affair. Gong Zichao against her compatriot and rival Ye Zhao Ying. You'll see it live tomorrow on ESPN. Called on the line.
Well, from my vantage point, it looked wide, but there we are.
Agreed.
I suppose it all evens out at the end of a match, and Taufik did not respond 1 iota.
That fails to clear the net, and even if it had, Taufik would have just simply slapped it back.
You can see here when it gets very tight there, it's a wonderful shot. It drops back on his own side. It's rare to see Peter Gader beaten in an exchange of net shots. He's a amongst other people he has to train with on a regular basis. Paul Erik Hoyer Larsen, who's probably got the most subtle and deft touch at the net. Fellow Dane, former Olympic champion.
Speaking of deft touch, Peter Gader dropping the shuttle right on the line to get the serve back. Up for love. Twice, though, he has faltered at the net in succession.
Service over.
A shot that Taufik simply flails at. Misses long.
5 love.
Good looking lead here for the Dane at 5 love.
Gade beaten all hands up with that cross court. Again, there's no preparation to indicate that it was going to go cross court. It's all flick of the wrist at the last moment. The body position gives no clue as to where it's going to go. Gade, as they will be, I'm sure, satisfied with the start that he's made, but he knows that 5 love is really not the job done by a long way yet.
Especially after that, letting the big lead slip away in the second game. On the line.
Over. 5 love.
Get a better look at it here, perhaps. Yeah, correct call.
Service over. Love 5.
Taufik, in addition to Peter Gader, has a good rivalry going with the Chinese player Dong Jiang. Dong Jiang beat him at the Brunei Open back in 1998. Taufik also went down to Dong at the Asian Games in Bangkok late last year. Whip for the smash.
The indecision by Peter Gader cost him there. The clear was only 3/4 length. So he thought it was going long, and then right at the last minute, that was actually going to land about a foot in, so it was well in. So the first point on the board for Taufik. Cheap point for Peter Gader.
Service over. 5-1.
Had to get the serve back. Still 5-1 to the Dane. And a drop shot. Do you think that was a miss hit?
Service over.
No, he's
1-5.
He's actually very good hitting soft shots on the return of serve. It's not all power with him, and he does that either on the short serves or the long serves to the back of the court.
Service
That was
over.
actually a very good return of serve for Peter Gader.
5-1.
Taufik diving out of the way of that, but it drops in. Not sure if it caught top of his head on the way by.
6.
I think it caught the line. See, it's still inside the court. Just wide.
Yes, that's the call from the linesman. See Taufik immediately turn around to the line judge on that. So he gets the serve back, now trailing by 5, changes shuttle.
I think he feels as though he may have had the wrong end of a couple of calls in any adverse way. Very correct.
just long. Taufik doesn't like the call. Takes a long look at it.
Gade's actually quite hesitant on a few of those.
Drop shot comes up short from the Dane.
Service over. 1-6.
You notice that Peter Gade has almost cut out the smash for the moment from his game. There are a couple of opportunities there he had to try and power it down. He made too many mistakes towards the end of game 2, I think, with the cross court, so maybe the coach has told him to forget that for a while.
That misses wide off the backhand.
6.
Taufik within 4.
I mean, Gade's still up, but 2-6 is nothing. I mean, that's well within Taufik's reach.
We would have said 10-3 was out of reach, but Taufik managed to erase that in the second game. And he's now within 3 at 3-6.
Very tight flick. Didn't go over the net, according to the judge. And a mistake there. So a couple of very quick points for Taufik on errors. Lapse of concentration by Peter Gade. He gets off to these good starts. It's very tough to actually keep that momentum going.
Men's doubles match just getting underway. The Korean pair, Lee Dong-soo, Yu Yong-sung, against the Indonesians, Chandra Wijaya and Tony Gunawan. We'll keep you updated on that match as it progresses.
And that's the surprise element. You know, he hasn't got that penetrating a smash, and if you start sort of trying to hit it too often and it comes back with frequency, you lose your rhythm, lose your confidence.
Meanwhile, the smash from Taufik works to get the serve back.
He's got a good smash.
Drops on the line.
6-4.
The one area that Taufik probably got to sort out is that return straight down the middle channel. That's where Peter Gade has got the majority of his points.
You could see him hesitate, wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do with that, low on the backhand.
I think he was trying the extravagant fake. He was trying to hold it to the last minute to see whether Taufik was going to move. But Taufik just stayed and watched.
There, Peter Gade rushing a shot. So his lead now reduced to a single point at 5-6.
Great bit of defensive work from Taufik there. See how quickly he's back up into position.
It's over. 6-5.
So Peter Gade, a shaky 1-point lead. Still early in this third game. Net shot, not high enough. So first time in a long while, the Danes picked up a point. Gator only had one chance at it. Taking that shot early, that didn't work.
5-7.
Played exclusively all backhands. Peter Gade coming up short. Take a look at this. Taufik into the net, and that dies on the Dane side. Back again within one. A little trace of a smile from the Dane. He knew he was outboxed with that shot. Danced on the tape, couldn't get over. 1 point lead for Peter Gade. Taufik still looks fresh, Brian.
Just can't get over and praise enough how economical he is in his movement around the court. I mean, obviously great aerobic ability as well. But everything he does is just so controlled.
7-6.
Linesman with the emphatic out call. Taufik driving this shuttle effectively against Peter Gader.
6-7.
Oh, that's way wide.
So we're tied, folks. 7-all. Midway through game 3. Net cord just trickling over. You see the disgust on the face of Peter Gader.
Well, the Danish coach, I think, may be looking and feeling rather concerned after Gade has given away 2 big leads in succession. 5-love up in this game 3, and he was 10-3 up in game 2. Only to see the 18-year-old, and the Indonesian coaching staff must be licking their lips at the prospects of just how far this 18-year-old youngster can go. I mean, he's only just 18. Was it a couple of weeks ago turned 18?
8-7, play.
August 10th, I believe. You see now the Dane trying to finish off points quickly. Frustration creeping into the game of Peter Gader.
9-7.
And Taufik catching those drives by Gade in the middle of the racket each time. On the backhand, then just down by the right knee. Great stuff.
It's a good one. You hear the screams from the Danish fans trying to spur Peter Gader back into this third game. And trying to cut that shot, take it the length of the net, goes nowhere.
9.
Still trails by 2.
I think he had half an eye on the movement of Taufik through the net. It looked as though Taufik had whatever he was going to come up with covered.
That net proving to be a real hurdle for Peter Gader.
10-7.
3-point lead now for Taufik after trailing 5-0. That misses. Now 11-7. It's getting away from Peter Gader in a hurry.
Well, the problem for him now is he couldn't finish it off when he was ahead. What does he do to start getting a few quick points here? If he lets it go any longer, he's going to be in real trouble. Well, that was better. But Taufik has got such a great all-round game. Defensively, he's able to cover the court. Peter Gade can't smash his way through.
That's going to drop wide.
Service over. 11.
Peter Gader inconsistent in this third game. Good shot, followed up by one that goes well wide. can smell it now at 12-7.
And his court coverage absolutely superb.
12-7.
But the racket control as well. See, it's all short shuffle steps. Keeps his body nicely balanced.
That's a good smash. It's been a long time since we saw Peter Gader use the smash.
That's the first time, in fact, since halfway through the second game that he's managed to put away one of those high cross-court smashes off the serve.
Out the call.
He looks so calm in making his decision whether to leave it or take it. Taufik.
In complete command of all of his shots and the entire court. 5-point lead, 3 points away from beating Peter Gader for the first time in 4 tries.
12-7.
Taufik hesitated at first, thinking that shot was going wide.
Yeah, he pointed back to the line, thinking he could have left it. That one there. He looked straight back down. Yeah, might have gone out, maybe. Very tight, though.
Into the net. So Taufik's getting it back exactly where he was before. Up 12-7 in game 3. From behind the back goes nowhere.
Service over. 7-12.
Well, it was a behind the back shot, but with a difference. It was almost straight behind him. We're going to get a chance to see it from his angle. Oh, perfect tumble shot, but an element of good fortune there that Peter Gader acknowledges. But just think back to that recovery deep on the backhand side. Taufik managed to keep the shot in play. That was unbelievable. And this is how it's going to finish. You'll see, absolutely impossible shot once it rolls over the net like that.
Almost like it was Velcroed to the top of that net. That goes long. So again, the brilliant point from Peter Gader, but he can't follow it up. That's the definition of inconsistency. 12-8, the lead for Taufik as he takes over on the serve. And looking at him there, I still don't sense fatigue at all from the 18-year-old. Some good network of his own. 13-8, 2 points away from the upset.
And Taufik's making all the right decisions here on the drop shot, when to go deep.
Taufik trying to end that rally early. The cross court half smash. On the line, Taufik doesn't agree with the line judge at all.
9-13.
Well, chair umpire actually saying good call. Of course, he's got nothing to add or detract from the issue.
into the net. 2 careless shots, really. The backhand was half-hearted from Peter Gade to extend the rally.
And
Gade cannot afford to make those sort of mistakes at this point. Trailing by 4. The young opponent 2 points away from a place in the final. Gade, I think it's worth saying yet one more time, was 10-3 up in the second game, having won the first. 5 love up in the third as well.
There, Peter Gade charging into the net. Get the serve back. That gives the Danish fans something to cheer about. They've been sitting on their hands for most of this third game. That's big for Peter Gade. He's now within hailing distance, down 10-13. Missing down the line.
And I think when he was in the air, the shot on there was the cross court, no question about it. And I think he was sort of halfway up in the air and thinking, oh, no, I keep making mistakes. So he changed it to go down the line.
That doesn't work either. Taufik has the serve back at 13-10. 14-10. He looks back at his coach, raises the fist, and says to himself, I have 4 match points on a guy that's beaten me 3 straight times.
What a brilliant drop shot.
The upset is complete. For the first time in 4 tries, Taufik Hidayat has knocked off Peter Gade Christensen. Indonesian fans here at the indoor stadium love it. This 18-year-old overcomes a major obstacle in his career. I think we are seeing the birth of a real star for Indonesian badminton. Taufik Hidayat will meet Herianto Arbi in the men's singles final of the Konica Cup. Arbi won that title 2 years ago. We'll have more from the Konica Cup when we return in a moment.